Do we have everyone? Hey, Amy! I finally get to see your face. Hello, hello. All right. Okay. Put that away, put that away. I think we got everybody. I really hope we do. It says 14. I wasn't sure if it was 14 or 16, but if somebody else pops in, maybe it'll show up. I hope. I'm not really tech savvy. So what are we going to do today? Today we're going to do a group reading. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen my live group readings. What I do is I usually just kind of open up. Well, let me explain it differently. Before I started, I looked at all your names. I invited whoever is close to you or whoever's here to communicate a message to you. I invited them into my space. Okay, so that means that I'm kind of blocking out everybody else, because otherwise it gets, you get so many energies trying to sneak in with a message. I have to protect myself. Do you kind of understand what I'm saying? So that's why I send out the intention that only your team, your loved ones can step forward. And hopefully they, they respect that, because sometimes it does happen, somebody does sneak in. Now, there's a lot of you. So that means that sometimes a lot of energies will come in at the same time. And sometimes, not often, but I have noticed that sometimes I receive I connect to one spirit, and then I get a message that's actually meant for someone else. And that's because spirit's energy blends from time to time. Okay. So be patient with me on that one. Sometimes we really have to, I have to ask my team, but who's who? Okay, so it can happen that we get a name in, and then I get a message from someone else for someone else. And that's simply because it's kind of like a big pot of energy that's coming in, and I just kind of tap into the energy. I don't, it's not up to me to say, okay, that is this, and I'm going to confine that. I don't confine anything. So I just express, or I just translate what I receive. Okay, so sometimes it can happen that two spirits are too eager and they're kind of fighting for the same moment. And so what I want to do is I'm just going to spitball everything that comes out. And if it resonates with you, if it's a person you think that might be for me, unclick your microphone and just let me know, okay, I think that's for me. Okay. And then you can leave your microphone on, and we can have the communication and the conversation that is meant to happen. And then we just kind of go from there. Does that make sense? Okay, that way we get to have a little bit of a private moment. You guys are all there, but we're all friends and we're all soul sisters and brothers. I got my little stone with me. I got my little heart. I just want to show you. So there's nothing here. I do have a block of paper. I use that to put just to scribble on. This is my little salt lamp. Do you guys have those? Anyway, this is my tea. My messy desk. So you're going to see me looking a lot. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. In that direction, okay? When I channel, for some reason, my eyes go above my computer, all right? But you can tell there's nothing there. I have nothing stuck. I have to do that now. Some people, I'm not saying you guys, but if there is a message coming forward for a family member, you never know. They might be thinking that I'm reading something off the wall, but there's nothing there. I never had to do that before, but now I feel like I have to, because people have become so skeptical. It's hard because there are a lot of fake people out there who just want to make a buck, but let's not go into that, shall we? All right, so what I'm doing right now is I'm just going to start marking, and I'm just going to see what comes in, and we'll go from there. Do you guys have any questions before we start? No one, everybody's good to go. Hold on, did I just see somebody that popped in? No, I thought something popped up. Okay. All right, let's get started. So let's get the energies going. Let's get the energies going. I have to say, I'm nervous because it's been a while since I've done so many spirits at once. Eric's going, you got this. Rock the shit out of it. He's here to support me. Okay, so there's definitely a male energy that's coming in. It feels like a father energy. I'm just, this person, very gentle energy, kind of like, I call that the huggy bear effect. You just want to hug him, you just want to sit down with him, you just want to talk to him. Somebody who's going to listen, somebody who's going to give you advice. I'm just going to see if he can identify himself, or if he goes by a name. So what I'm seeing now is kind of like a wheel of fortune, where you just have all the letters and it just kind of goes and it stops at a letter. Okay, so it's a very short name. So he calls himself, okay, Robert. So Robert's really kind of talking about he's talking about his granddaughter. It's a weird name. Okay, I have to write it down.
I think it could be me.
Okay, who's that? Who's saying that?
Susan.
Okay, hi Susan.
My dad's name is Robert.
Okay.
And
he's talking about Althea.
Yeah, that's it. Althea is my daughter's name.
It's a very weird name to me. I've never heard that. Althea.
Yeah.
It sounds Greek.
It is Greek.
Okay.
Goddess of health or something like that.
Okay, okay.
We call her Tia.
Tia, I like that. Okay, let's see. He's kind of on the shy side. I don't know if you resonate with that, but he feels like a person who had an enormous heart, hardworking.
Yeah.
And it just kind of feels like, he had honor. He had this, this sense of duty, I'll call it that. And it just feels like, he would do anything he can to protect his family, but he was kind of introvert at the same time. Like he really, he wasn't going to always say or use words to express what he feels, but he would kind of show it to you. Does that kind of make sense?
Oh yeah, he was a big huggy bear.
Yeah.
With 6 daughters, so he was really
wow,
protective and
he was a brave man. He was a brave man.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's laughing. He has got a great smile. Okay, so what he's saying is that he says you need to embrace your uniqueness and your abilities to feel, your abilities to identify, and to kind of simply know deep inside what that universal truth is. He says, I know that being different than your or even Ted, whoever Ted may be, has created pain and suffering. He says it's created troubles and just kind of, harmful words and actions in the past. So it almost feels to me like what he's showing me is that there's some kind of, it's like relationships have been tough for you, and it's almost like because you're so different, okay,
Yeah.
you don't connect, or it's almost like other people don't understand you. They don't really understand you. They think they know you, but they don't.
They
And
don't. They always get it wrong.
he's talking about embracing it. He's showing me, give yourself a hug. You know, you are, yes, you are different, but that's good. He says that's good. You know, and so he's just showing me that these kind of relationships, you know, even with your ex-husband, all have pushed you into becoming emotionally and mentally and spiritually independent. Okay, and that was part of the plan. That's because, you know, he's showing me that you're a great mom, yet you don't identify with that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you know, there are, again, relationships are going to be tough. That's just what you've signed up for. And it's almost like he's saying, you know, you will find peace if you accept that. You know, you will find you will grow and receive more clarity on your abilities, because you do have abilities. You are an empath, you are an intuitive, a very natural intuitive. That's what he says. You know things, you know, you feel things, and it's just, you know, other people are like, you know, they just don't get it. They don't resonate with it, and that makes it a little bit difficult. And so what you've been doing is you've been kind of running away.
Yeah.
He's showing me running. It's like, oh, if I move there, I'll be fine. Or if I move there,
I moved to South America.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
It's like you're always running
still here.
from the issue. You know, if I'm alone, I'll be fine. And, you know, you run from it. And he's saying, you know, stop running, but embrace it. Yeah. Embrace that is what's supporting you. And that is what is giving you exactly what you were here to experience. Embrace the emotions. You know, it's not about defining them good or bad, but it's about embracing them as valuable, no matter how they feel like, no matter what emotion sparks within you. It's about valuing every emotion and saying, this is exactly what I signed up for. So I am grateful for the opportunity to learn and expand from those different kinds of emotions. Does that kind of make sense of what he's trying to say?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I ran away. I just didn't want to fight. I mean, it was so overwhelming to have the entire family against me and telling me I was a bad mom. And when I knew I was like the only one who could like save my daughter at the time and stuff. And yeah, so I just ran. I just said, okay, fine. You think what you want. Goodbye.
Yeah, and that's you know, a lot of people will do that, you know, and that's what he says. You know, he a lot of times would escape too, but he would escape in here. Is what he's showing me. He would disconnect, but he's just showing me it's really important that you don't run from it. It's important that you learn how to not be affected by it.
Yeah, and
you do that by changing your understanding of it. You do that by changing the energy behind it. Okay. And to really kind of embrace that all of these hurdles are actually assisting you, are actually helping you to become a more independent, more connected entity. So he's just saying, get rid of the guilt or feelings of being, he's saying you're not a bad mom. That's what he said. You're a good mom, but you're not validating it. Okay. You have to validate it. He says, because you are, you know, you just have a different understanding of what it is to be a mom. And you just approached it differently. And that, you know, in this kind of limited community that you call family, it wasn't accepted. Does that kind of make sense?
Absolutely.
But that's what he says. It's really important that you let go of that negativity and to really embrace it with love and really see the value in every little bit of what was presented to you. And he says, when you do that, boom, you're in fifth dimensional for good, because you're going in and out of it. And it drives you crazy, he says. because you're like, you have
Yeah.
moments where you're like, ah, you have these haha moments, and then it goes back to boing, and it
Yeah.
drives you crazy. He says
Yeah.
you want to stay there, you want to stay in that higher vibration, and the only way to do that is to really love your life, love
Yeah.
your past, because
Yeah.
it is exactly what you signed up for. Nothing has gone as it, everything's gone as it was intended, he says. Does that kind of make sense?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's true, because I do feel like I was like, wait, I had it. Yeah, I knew what I was doing and all this stuff. And then my family comes along and says, you're blah, 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 blah. And,
Yeah.
and I go, oh, I thought, I didn't realize I was such a jerk or whatever, and then, yeah, so I've been trying to get back to that. So that's really helpful.
Yeah,
Very
it's important, he says. It really is an important step. Once you can do that, nothing will take away your peace. Everything will see it as a wonderful challenge. And you're just going to open up your abilities and your connection even more, because you'll no longer be stuck in that kind of loop. It's a loop of negativity. It's a circle that just kind of comes and it goes and it comes and it goes. Okay. And just know that he loves you very, very much. He loves you very much. And so does Tia. She loves you very much, but she's kind of also under the influence of societal thinking.
big time. Yeah. They got to
Okay.
it. Okay. I really, really appreciate that. That
You're
is
welcome.
so 100% correct. I mean, just, wow. You
All
nailed it.
right. Well, I'm just happy I could be of service.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. All right. Okay, great. He's giving me a kiss. He's going, thank you. He's really sweet though. Okay, so I have, I keep seeing a dog tail wag. Let's see. It's a little doggy. The name Shiloh comes in.
That's me. That was my dog.
Okay. Mary.
Last time you read for me, my dog came through. Different dog.
Really? Looks like your animals are really supportive. Shiloh. A little bit hyper, but really, I don't know. Either Shiloh's very excited, because I keep seeing this little tail going. Chuk, 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 chuk. It's not a big tail, it's a little tail. So it looks like Shiloh wants to let you know that Boots is okay. Okay, so they're kind of, it's almost like your spiritual team is kind of talking through Shiloh. It's almost like they're using him as a conduit, but I feel like there's a bigger energy that's behind Shiloh, if that makes sense. Okay, so well, first of all, they want to thank you, all of your animals. You're a big animal lover. They want to thank you for your undying love and for making them always feel like they're a part of your family. Okay, and they say that they have been through ups and downs with you, or it's almost like they've observed you through ups and downs. But one thing that they did notice is that you're a very passionate and ambitious person. And when it comes to undertaking something, when it comes to reaching a goal or a desired dream, like you give it your all. You're really kind of a person who just kind of, I call that going cock diesel. You just, you put fire up your butt and you go. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
but it does come with a price, is what they're saying. It does come with a price of, really pushing yourself sometimes to your limits and really kind of using up too much energy. And then you don't have enough energy to really focus on other things that are important, if that makes sense. It's almost like when you put your mind to something, it becomes you. It takes over everything. And they're saying, well, because of your determination and because of your passion, really going for it, you've always succeeded, in everything you put your mind to, and even if things didn't work out, relationships usually were a little bit more on the tougher side because of your drive to succeed, because of your drive to feel accomplished, feel successful. It kind of put relationships a little bit on the second place from time to time, not always, but from time to time. And they're saying your new endeavor, your new dream, your new goal, which is a spiritual one, which is really wanting to get some kind of, it's almost like you're trying to prove yourself to yourself, right? And they're kind of showing me that you're trying to approach it. You're trying to approach your new goal with the same energy, the same focus, the same passion, the same mechanism as you did with all your other projects. But they're saying that doesn't work here. So you kind of have to relearn. It's like you have to learn to achieve a goal, but in a whole new way, with a whole new mechanism and a whole new energy. Does that kind of make sense of what you're saying? And so
that part's easy. It's how do you do it?
Yeah. So that's what they're going to try and explain. So you have been putting yourself out there. You have been really trying to embrace your abilities, and you do have abilities. That is a certain. But you and how you approach it and how you tap into it will limit it. So you're not at your full capacity because of your belief system, because they're showing me that you were kind of raised with religion, and you kind of had to unlearn a lot of things, and it just feels like just how you've gone through life, your past has always been very goal oriented. Here, there is no goal to reach. It is simply remembering who you are. So you need to let go of trying to work towards an end destination, because you can't. There is no end destination. You are the end destination, and you already are it today. Okay.
So just relax and breathe.
So this is what Shiloh's going. There she goes again, trying to control. Hold on. I'm almost out of tea. So this is what you need to do, is what they're saying, right? You need to, one, she's going, relax, because you're so frustrated that it's not unfolding the way you want it to, right? Relax, is what they're saying. It's about getting out of your head and feeling your way to remembering, right? So this is the hard bit, they say, for you especially. It's really hard because you are always using this to get somewhere. You're trying to understand it. You're trying to analyze it. You're trying to learn steps, right, in order to get to a certain result. You have to forget all about that. Forget it. It's not going to happen that way. Spiritual communication is something you feel. It's not something you understand. If you're trying to make sense of it, you're ruining it. It's magic. It is something that cannot be understood. It is something that can only be felt. And as you're using your emotional center first, the words will come to you without you having to think about the words. So what you need to practice is feeling things, and that's where you're blocked. Because you've, in a way, in order to self-protect, because people have hurt you in the past and relationships have been painful, you've kind of blocked, you can still feel, but not on that deep level. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
So what you need to do is you need to practice mindfulness techniques or meditation techniques that will unlock your emotional center. And that is not a tool to your goal, but it is simply a tool to reopen that center so you can then feel the communication happening. So when you're channeling or when you're trying to communicate to spirits, don't say, it starts by changing your conversation with yourself. Don't say, I think this and that and this and that. Start with saying, I feel, and you express what you feel. Every spirit communication starts here. And that's how I communicate too. And I'm going to try and show it to you from my perspective. You may have noticed that when I channel, first I feel the energy. This feels like a man. This feels like a woman. This feels like a very lovey-dovey, excited energy. I always start from emotions. And once I tap into that emotion and I allow those emotions to fill me up, the words come without me having to say or think anything. I don't have to think about what's going to come out of my mouth. I simply tap into that feeling, that energy. And it's almost like when we allow ourselves to blend with that emotion that they're giving off, we blend energies. We become one entity. And then I don't have to do the thinking anymore. It's not for me to decide what the communication is. That's not our job as a channeler. Our job is to simply open our mouth and be the translator. And we don't have to think about translating. We simply have to allow those feelings to become one with us. And then the conversation comes automatically. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, it does.
And so that's what they want you to work on, to open the emotional center, to really allow yourself, cry, get angry, to really allow yourself to feel, because he's showing me that you're such a controlled person. It's like you have complete control over yourself. But there's so many emotions going on that you're simply not acknowledging. You need to acknowledge everything so you can completely be in tune with how everything feels, because spirit communicates through feelings. They don't use words. People think that there's words that being expressed. They don't. They express energy, emotional energy. And that emotional energy magically creates conversation in our head. It is our body who automatically translates the emotional output or input, however you want to say it. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah. When I'm doing medium readings for people, at times it flows extremely easy for me. Mm-hmm. Because like you said, I've got to get into that energy of them, and I feel their personality first.
See, that's good. That's what I feel too. The first connection I make to any spirit is, what do they feel like? And then come all the other information, and it just it's almost like that's the doorway.
Right. Okay.
Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah. And I just started doing medium readings for other people, because before I never did. I didn't myself enough. So to me, it's kind of still learning in process.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're doing good, but you really need to, again, they're saying this is not like every other goal you've ever tried to achieve. Make sense?
Yep,
It's
absolutely.
really about changing the approach, and it's about just being it. It's not about, and that's something that most people miss, and that's what Shiloh's here trying to kind of reveal. It's not about, a lot of people think they need to work at it. They need to do classes, and classes can give you an insight and can give you kind of, oh yeah, okay, if they're good classes. But it's not something you can learn because it is you. Every single being on this planet is connected. Every single being is channeling on a daily basis. They're just not aware that they're channeling. They call it intuition, which is channeling. They call it a gut instinct, which is channeling. They're calling it creative ideas. That's channeling. You're channeling that information, those ideas, those aha moments. That's coming from outside of you. That is not coming from the human ego. It's not. Do you see what I'm saying? So we're always channeling, and it's simply about acknowledging that, like, I don't need to work at it. I just simply need to know how to declutter myself from false beliefs that in order to become good at something, you have to work at it. It's about decluttering your space, decluttering your beliefs, and it's about really opening our emotional center. And I think everybody here can learn from that. We are taught in school to close our emotional center off. They don't want emotional beings. Emotional beings are too powerful. Okay, emotional beings, whether you cry every day or not, you're a powerful being. Crying is a powerful thing. It's a powerful expression of energy. It can change universes, if you know what I'm trying to say, right? So that's something I think we all need to, and you think of children. Children are 100% emotional. They don't think. They don't analyze things. They act upon what they feel. That is our natural state. That is our natural state. Now, if we have to unlearn everything we've learned from the past and embrace that. That's why they always call it, embrace your childlike energy. Embrace that kind of whatever, I don't need to please people. I don't need to, I don't need to make sure everything's right. You have to let go of all those false beliefs. And you simply have to be yourself 100% and just allow information to flow out of you without you having to give it any thought. And that comes from the emotional center. And if you can unlock your emotional center 100%, that means no more fear, no more worry about how people are going to respond. No worry about, I hope this is right. All of that needs to go out the door. I get nervous too, but once I tap into an energy, I'm like, whatever, you guys are responsible. If this sucks, it's your fault. I give other people's fault. I give the fault to spirits. You guys need to make sure these people came here to hear a message from you. You make sure that whatever comes out for this person will help this person in some way or form. So that's what I do. And it gives me kind of, the fear goes away to channel, because it's not my responsibility. I am simply the radio. You guys make sure you play the right tune. Do you see what I'm trying to say? That helps me to kind of relax. And when you let go of that feeling responsible, for whatever comes out, you're a channeler, whatever comes out, comes out. Even if people go, you suck. Great. Maybe that person didn't need to hear the message. Maybe that person isn't here for a spiritual awakening, and that's exactly what they needed to feel. We don't know what they're here to experience. So even if it doesn't resonate with people and they get turned away, from spirituality, maybe that was part of the plan. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it all makes sense.
And so that's where it comes down. So Shiley's just kind of saying, one, Boots is okay. And two, it just feels to me like they're really proud of you and they're really loving towards you. And they just simply want you to approach this new goal from a whole different angle. Let go of everything you think you know about life, and just simply become it, be it, and really work on opening up that emotional center, because there's still some blockages there that do hold back on the abilities that you have.
Okay.
Make sense?
Thank you. Yep. And Boots had just passed 3 days ago.
Okay. Well, it looks like a little Tigger cat, maybe.
Yep.
It reminds me of my little Tigger that I have here. So Boots is all right.
Excellent. Thank you.
Still in the recovery, but
Yeah.
my Boots isn't communicating. But you really take good care of your animals as if they're your children. That's what they're showing me. And they truly appreciate that. Female energy coming in, very strong, very powerful. Don't mess with her. I get the name Nana. Did she showed me writing a book? Did anybody write a book or is thinking about writing a book? I think this is for Jean-Luca. I could be wrong. She's talking about, she's very feisty. I like her energy. She's like a kind of a no bullshit kind of gal. It feels to me like she might be a guide to you, Jean-Luca, and it's like, she's showing me that you're very intelligent, like you use your brain a lot. You're always thinking, you're always analyzing, something about numbers, something about computers, maybe?
No.
Does that make any sense to you? She's a little bit all over the place. So I'm really trying to make sense of the energy. She's just kind of spewing out energy. And I'm like, whoa. She's talking about that you can be very, it's almost like you're this, I don't know, like this program person, like you get to see in the matrix is what it's like you have this insight. I don't know, am I making any sense here? I'm trying to translate what I'm receiving energetically, but it's like
not so much.
Okay.
I'm not into programming.
Not into program. Well, she's showing me that you have this insight. It's like she's showing me computers, and then she's showing me, she's using a lot of visualization. So I'm trying to make sense of what she's trying to say, because I'm not receiving words in my head.
Yes, okay.
She's showing me a computer, and she's showing me that, you know how you have, like in the movie The Matrix, you have all these kind of like code, right? And she's showing me that you have the ability to see or tap into the universe in that way. Okay, you have the ability to connect to the fibers of the universe and see, it's almost like connecting the dots, see how to get, it's almost like possibilities, which is very complex, possibilities, possible future lines. And it's almost like you have the ability, you might not know it and you might not have awakened it, but you have the ability to tap into the energetic code of reality and then see, okay, if we move into that direction, we'll go there. And if we move into this direction, we'll, if we do this, we'll go there. And it's like you have that ability, but it's like you do that in your dream state a lot. Do you have weird dreams where you're like, what the hell was that?
No, I don't remember that.
You don't remember your dreams? You're like my mom. She's like, I don't dream. It's like, yes, you do. You just don't remember. Anyway, that's what she's saying that you have. It almost feels to me like you have the ability to, do you know the term remote viewing?
Yes, I'm following a woman who is doing remote viewing.
Okay, so there's no coincidence why you're following that woman. That's what you do. Remote viewing is being able to tap into future, it's distance, right? You can tap into, for example, for people who don't know what remote viewing is, I can sit here, I can close my eyes and I can see what's happening in Russia. I
Yes.
can place my consciousness there to go, oh, what's going on? But remote viewing also can give you short-term future predictions. Why? Because when we remote view, it's like you're going on a ride of an energetic line, and it's bringing you to a place. It's bringing you to a location, and that can be in the future as well. Does that kind of make sense of what I'm trying to?
Yes.
I'm not an expert on this, but that's what she's showing me. It's like she's showing me you in it's like being in a computer. And I think she's just trying to explain it in her way, but I'm trying to make sense of it. And she's saying you have that ability to really see through the matrix. And that means that you have the ability to tap into those energy strands that make up reality, and really see things that are coming, or see things that are maybe far away that might be a threat of some sort, or might need warning for the people. Does that kind of make sense of what I'm trying to say?
Okay, yes.
And so she says you need to awaken that, because right now it's just an idea, but you have the ability. But she's showing me that in your past, you were already doing that as a child. She's showing me that you had a very creative mind, or at least that's what people called it. It was creative, and you were always dreaming, and you were always kind of zooming out, and people didn't like that. They would bring you down, smack you, whatever. It's like, snap out of it, right? They would bring you back to reality as a very little boy. But that was you just surfing the waves of reality. You were just zooming out and connecting to other places, and to really connecting to other possible realities. And, very much like Tesla. I don't know if you know Tesla, but Tesla did the same thing. They said he was crazy, but he's not. I mean, he literally just tapped into realities and possibilities, and that's how he got his information. He could go anywhere. You have that ability, is what she's saying, but it's almost like your upbringing. And she's showing me also a little bit of trauma in the past, maybe. You just feel like it was difficult for you from time to time, because you are different. And she's saying all of that kind of molding and kind of limiting what society has done really kind of blocked that out. And she's saying you have to unlock it. You have to unlock it. And so really start practicing with, you can try the remote viewing right away, because you're already doing it in your dream state, is what she's saying. But try, if you can, to practice having out-of-body experiences. What's that called? I always forget the word. Lucid dreaming. Do you know what I'm trying to say? She's showing me the really kind of focus on basically maintaining your awareness, but leaving the body, allowing the body to fall asleep, but staying awake. And then you can basically travel and try and reconnect to the abilities that you have. Does that kind of make sense? I don't know if I'm making any sense.
Travel in the astral realm.
Yes. So, there's a term for it, but I don't remember the word. She's saying that, don't keep, right now it's an idea, but you need to make it practice. It needs to become a daily practice, even if it's 5-10 minutes. Does that kind of make sense? A day. You can do it trying during your meditation. You can try doing lucid dreaming. There's little techniques for it, is what she's showing me. I've never been able to do it, but there are techniques for it, and how you can kind of activate that ability. So it's really about putting the focus not so much on channeling or on healing, but it's really for you putting the focus on disconnecting from your body. That's where your focus needs to be, because she's saying that you not only will have the ability to remote view and really have fun with it. Don't make it a job. It's about having fun. Okay.
Okay.
Practice with your friends. Okay, you go stand over there and do something weird, and I'll see if I can pick up. Okay, I'll call you. It's about having fun, not letting anybody, declare you insane or whatever. Just whatever. Okay. But it's really about you learning it's not learning. It's about remembering the practice of disconnecting from this reality and being able to tap into a different one.
Okay.
Does that kind of make sense? Because she showed me
Yes.
your purpose here is really important for your community, for your loved ones, for your community, for the people that are close by, because communication from the other realms, from other places, is going to be more and more crucial for humanity's awakening. We're getting more and more information, more and more assistance from other species, from other entities, other planets that are trying to help us, that are trying to elevate the awareness of who we truly are, that are trying to help us to become who we truly are. And you're a key factor in that. So right now, it's almost like she loves you so much, but she's saying, she's smacking around your ears. She's going, wake up. Because she's saying, you've known this for quite some time. You felt it. You feel that you're meant to do something bigger. You feel the urge, you feel the pull. You're constantly being guided towards, looking certain things up, being guided to teachers, but you're not understanding the urgency of it.
Okay.
So she's kind of like, get your butt in gear, because, you're just like, oh yeah, this is fun. And okay, you're just cruising while you should be stepping on that gas and going, fuck yeah, we're doing this. Does that kind of make sense?
Yes, yes.
It sounds all weird and sci-fi, but she's right there with, she calls herself Nana. I don't know if that's her name or what, but she's just basically saying that you've always been different, and they've loved that about you, because you are not meant to be like everyone else. So start communicating. And she says you can practice with entities who are already communicating, like Bashar or like any of those other entities. You can already try and tap into them. And it's not a channeling that you're doing. You're simply basically placing your essence with them. You're visiting. You have the ability to go visit places.
Okay.
But in order to do that, you have to leave your body behind. And you won't be disconnected, so don't be fearful about it. But you have the ability. So, and she's talking about the dream state, that you do that during your dream state. So you might not be aware of it once you go back into your body and you get into your REM sleep. Usually that'll fade. But try and send out the intention. Okay, today I want to go visit Bashar's people, which is really us, but from a different timeline. Just so you know, they're actually the evolution of humanity from a different timeline that went wrong. But let's not go into that. That'll freak people out. So send out intentions and really practice leaving your body. That's basically what she's saying your focus should be on. Does that make sense? Because
Yes.
remote viewing is literally placing your consciousness, your awareness into a different space while your body is still breathing.
Okay.
He's kind of going, oh Lord. All right, well, I hope that helps. I don't
Yes,
control what comes through. I do apologize. If it
We
doesn't
will see what
resonate.
happens.
Yeah,
Okay.
let us know. Let us know how it works out, because I would love to. I'd love to see it. I love getting feedback from people because then they're like, oh my God, this just happened. And I get so excited for her because I'm like, yes, they're doing it. They're doing it. It makes me feel good. The more people awaken, the better it is. There's so much competition in the spiritual world, and I don't get that. Why is there competition? I mean, if everybody needs to be able to channel and everybody needs to be able to have that openness of who they are, and I think that's just really important anyway. That's my perspective on it. Okay. This is definitely an angel stepping forward. Huge energy. The name that's coming in is Luna. This is a message for someone who's very creative, loves animals, very kind of, it's an angelic, this is what they're saying, she's an angelic presence and she doesn't know it, she doesn't realize it. Could you give me a name, please? Okay, whose name starts with an F? There we go. Hello.
Do you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Hello.
What was the name? Frédéric?
My name is Frédéric. My real name is Frédéric.
You're from France, she said.
Yes, I am.
France represent. Hey. She says, yeah, she's from France, but she's really a worldly person.
Yeah, we can say that.
You feel at home on Earth is your home. That's how you're seeing it. You're not a person who sees the boundaries that humanity creates. Does that kind of make sense? It's like you're beyond this. You're so unique in your environment. Everybody looks at you and goes, huh? What? It just feels like you're so outer-worldly almost. And she loves that about you because that's what you wanted to be. But she says, you've been distracted. Okay. She says you're an empath. She's showing me that you are really connected to animals. You're really connected to Mother Earth. And she's showing me that you have the ability to see light and energy in everything that surrounds you. And so you have this, she says you have an incorrect understanding of yourself. And that's what keeps you stuck. Because she's saying that you've been on the spiritual awakening almost your entire life. Does that kind of make sense? You've been on a spiritual awakening your entire life. And it's like you're trying to define yourself. She's showing me you're trying to put a label on you. What is it that what I'm here to do? I don't know. It's like you're trying to figure it out. And so you've been guided towards different teachers and you've been trying to just kind of label yourself. And she says, because of your fears, because you do have fears, you do struggle with insecurities, you do struggle with, because you don't really fit into this world, it does make you feel kind of alone in the journey, although you do have people and animals and a lot of loving energy around you. You do feel a little bit like you're alone. I don't know if solitude is the word that's coming in. And they're saying because of those fears and those insecurities, you've somehow convinced yourself that you need a step plan, that you need a tool to find your spiritual niche, to find your spiritual place. And so you've been guided towards hypnosis, or at least that's what you've told yourself.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
It was a few years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, they're showing me that you were guided, or you kind of convinced yourself that that might be the direction I need to go into. And that's what they're saying. That was the human ego talking from fear that, oh, I need something that if I just follow these steps, then I'll be able to do something spiritual. And she's saying that's what that was. Okay. That wasn't for you.
Okay.
Okay. You're not here to follow steps or direction. You're here to simply allow your natural abilities to communicate to the world outside of you and to the animal kingdom. Okay. You have the ability to see and connect to the fauna and flora of this world. See, there's already one. He's laughing. He's saying, see, you better listen because it's happening.
Yeah, this is Roberta, my daughter, one of my daughters.
Oh, there you go. Roberta is acknowledging what we're saying. She doesn't listen to us. That's what's happening. So you have the ability to be an animal communicator, but you also have the ability to communicate to plant life. Okay, and that's why it's almost like you ask them to look pretty and they do for you.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Definitely. I don't know if that makes sense, but she's showing me that you in your mind with your energy, you communicate to plant life and they communicate back to you and show you on a physical level how grateful they are that you're communicating to them. And then you capture that somehow. Does that kind of make sense? I don't know if I'm making any sense. So that's the direction that you need to go into. And it's not about learning a technique for you. It's simply about trusting what you receive, because that's the biggest issue that you're struggling with. It is you don't trust the information that you're picking up on emotionally, energetically, when it comes to communication with see, she's laughing, outside of the human race. Does that kind of make sense? Because she says you have a very creative mind. All right, you have a very creative mind, and it is important to use that creative energy while you're communicating. Okay, let me explain it a little bit different in my own way, the way that what I feel like they're trying to bring forward. So they really want you to embrace your creativity. Okay, that needs to become kind of your income in some way. Okay, you have the ability to capture light. You have the ability to capture energy. You think you're capturing a picture, you're not. You're capturing life force. You're capturing energy. Okay, and that should be your own unique creative thing to do. Okay, if you can continue doing that, but really bringing it forward to the world, that you're not just capturing beauty, but you're also capturing energy, then it becomes a whole new thing. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I think so. I'm not sure, but
so it's kind of like, I don't know if you do photography, but it's kind of like taking a picture. When photographers take pictures, they simply focus on the physical material that's in front of them. Because of your natural ability, and you're not even aware of that because it's so natural to you, it's just what you do. Because you have a natural ability to see energy and see light within objects, the way that you capture that, the way that you take pictures, or the way that you, paint it, I don't know what you're doing, but you could paint it too. You literally will bring that light to the picture. Does that do you understand what I'm trying to say? And it sounds complicated. And why does it sound complicated? Because it's a very new thing to do. Okay. It's not something that we're used to. A picture is a picture of an item. You're going to take a picture of an item, but you're going to be able to capture in your picture also the energy, the life force of that flower, of that dog, do you know what I'm trying to say? That's what they want, that's one thing. And that's almost like to bring in, survival money, because we do need an income.
Yeah,
Do
that's
you know what
one
I'm
of my
saying? Because
fears. Yeah.
that can be a struggle for you. But it's really about showing people that, look, this is not just a picture, for example, but look, see the energy, see the light that's in there, see it. It's about capturing life force on camera. That's what you're good at, but you don't realize it. Okay? But once you can express that, once you can validate that to the universe, then other people will see it too. Does that make sense? And then the other aspect of your spiritual awakening really is to accept, to absorb the truth. And the truth is you communicate to higher frequencies. You communicate to animals, you communicate to plant life. Humans are a big mystery. You don't get them at all. All right. Humans are like, what? Why do you do that? You have no idea. You don't get humanity at all. Okay. You don't resonate with how they are, how they communicate. You resonate with higher frequencies. And so you have the abilities to even tap into higher existences like fairies, and that sounds all very magical, but they do exist. They're not always visible to people who are not at that frequency, but you are, they say. You have the ability to capture them. You have, on film, you have the ability to communicate to them. They trust you because they can sense that you are one with nature. You are one with the animal kingdom, and they value that. Does that kind of make sense? I know I sound like a really crazy person right now.
No, it makes sense.
But that's what they're kind of communicating. And so you have a guide who calls herself Luna.
One of my cat name is Luna.
Well, there funny. You go. Well, that's probably no coincidence then. Okay. But she's also your guide. So, you probably picked up on your guide and decided to call your cat that. I have a guide, a cat named Luna as well. So, but yeah, so you have a guide named Luna who is trying to help you to embrace and really become your most natural state. Because you've focused a lot in the past trying to fit in. They don't want you to fit in. Please don't fit in. I
realized that.
Don't fit in. Okay, that's not why you're here. You're here to be quirky, kooky, and all of the above. Okay, you're here where people go, okay, I like her, but I don't know, something different about her. You're here to be like that. Okay, embrace that. Embrace the quirkiness. Embrace your true self, because there's too many insecurities that you're struggling with that are really blocking your abilities. And if you just accept your most authentic self and you just say, fuck the world, I'm going to live my life the way I do. If I want to dress around in 1,000,001 colors, I will. If I want to look like a clown, I will look like a clown. It's about embracing your quirkiness, because it's that unique ability of seeing things differently. That is your strength. And you've been fighting it. Okay, and you can't fight it. You need to stop fighting yourself. All right, that needs to end, she says. Come on now. She's going, we're 2022. I mean, you can go quirky now. All right, the whole world went quirky. You're good. All right, does that kind of make sense?
Yes.
All right, and embrace your creativity in whatever way or form. She's showing me painting as a possibility, photographing. She's showing me coloring. She's showing me that you have a creative soul, that you receive a lot of creative ideas, but you don't always embrace them.
Yeah. Okay.
You're like, oh, that would be cool, and you put it away.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, that would be cool, and you put it away. It's like she's going, I keep telling you, idea. And she's like, yeah, that would be great. Put it away. And she's going, She asks for help every day. I send her the assistance and she goes, great, thanks. And she puts it in a drawer and doesn't do anything with it. So, she's going, hello, time to do something with it. Okay. So I hope this helps, but just know that she's with you. Much. She's communicating to you. Just learn to listen and stop being so afraid to be yourself. Stop being afraid of being different. Okay. You're not here to fit in. Okay. Embrace that. Okay. And once you do, abundance will flow. Okay. The universe will take care of you, but you're the biggest block in your life, and that's you.
Okay. Merci.
All right. Merci. You're welcome. I hope that helps a bit.
Yeah, that helps. Thank you.
All right. Oh, I got another doggy. This is the animal kingdom all over the place, isn't it? Oh, I know who it is. He's with Raj. Avery, it's for you. I remember. It's Kobe. Kenobi, that's what it is. Kobe's the new one.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Although, same spirit. He's going Kobe, Kenobi, same spirit.
He's been on my mind so much the last few days.
That's probably why he's stepping forward. And I can see Raj is right next to him. Eric.
Well, there's a picture of both of them on Facebook today.
Oh, okay.
Together.
Raj is showing me flipping. It's almost like he's showing me a coin and he's showing me like flipping it on the other side. So it's almost like you flipped something. Maybe it's an idea or a feeling that you had, but it's like you've it's like a turnaround. Okay, so he's showing me that the energies that you're now in, it's almost like this started 2 days ago. I don't know if you've noticed something different, but it's like 2 days ago, your energy shifted. Okay. And it's been creating a different dream state. He's showing me that you've been getting more communication during your dream state. And kind of like a, what is that called? Like an update. I don't know if that makes any sense. It's almost like during your dream state, you've been getting communications, but it's no longer from the heavenly realms. You're now communicating or connecting to physical realms that are trying to assist you in your healing so you can then heal others. Does that kind of make sense of what I'm trying to say? So you might be receiving some weird dreams that kind of don't make sense, and it almost feels like alien communication in some way or form. Okay, but it's almost like you're getting an upgrade. You've been promoted. You're getting an upgrade. And they're really trying to change certain frequencies within your body in order to create a quicker healing, so you can then really move into a new phase of becoming a healer to others. Okay, because you've been a healer, you are a doctor and all of that, but the healing will change and alter into it's almost like something extra, a different form or a different modality that's really going to, it's almost like bring two aspects together. And it's like your own healing is important in that. And that's why they're speeding up the process of evolution within the body. Does that make sense at all?
Yes, it does, because I've had cupping in my right ear now going on for about 3-4 months.
Okay.
And always when I'm sort of talking to you or Kati or, Peggy, and it's or watching something like Jamie on TV, something spiritual, and it
Yes.
just starts, it's quite painful.
Okay.
And so and then
It comes and it goes.
Yeah, it comes and goes. It doesn't happen with anybody else. So
I'm sorry I am painful for you.
You were. You were.
Sorry. But yeah, it almost looks like they're doing something. They're doing something behind the scenes. You're not going to see them, but your healing modalities are going to change a lot of ideas in medicine. Okay. And it's like, in order for that to happen, you have to go through your own healing process. And they're trying to speed it up a little bit. Because the way the world is going, there's going to be a lot of, well, we all know why. There's going to be a lot of suffering. There's going to be a lot of permanent damage. There's going to be a lot of death. And a lot of these can be reversed. A lot of the side effects can be reversed, but with the right modalities, with the right tools, the right medicine, which isn't chemical. Okay, it's a natural medicine. And so you're in a state of illness right now, trying to overcome a lot of things. And it's like your search and your understanding and all the information you're absorbing right now in order to heal yourself will create an interest to get a more in-depth understanding of nature and its healing powers.
Happening now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I can hear you, but
Okay. Oh, it's happening right now.
Yeah.
I'll ask Eric to take it away for a minute. So
yeah, tell Curly to get on his hike and
I'll get Curly over there. And so all of that, it's almost like they need you quicker than originally intended. And so they're actually, they're speeding up the healing process. And so you might, during your dream state, or even, the clicking in the ear, what that is as soon as you're tapping into higher frequencies, you're going to pick up on it, but it's only temporary is what they're saying. It's really kind of an acknowledgement, or it just feels like things are changing energetically, and that's going to have an effect on the body for a little bit.
Okay.
Does that kind of make sense? But you're getting downloads, and it's not from the heavenly realms. It really is from ET realms, the ones that are trying to help us and support us and really provide the tools to heal ourselves, because we've done this before.
Yeah.
But we've destroyed ourselves. This is a new timeline where we're trying it again, just so you know. This has happened before. Yeah. There are different timelines. So we're getting another opportunity to correct it. Okay. So that's why they're really invested, because they've seen the outcome, which is almost the entire destruction of mankind. So they're trying to avoid that in this new timeline. And that's why we're getting so much assistance, so much help, if that makes sense.
Well, I've been waving to them every night I go to bed. I actually see the starships in the sky, and they're sort of rotating.
Really? You're actually observing them. That is so cool. I always go and I look and I'm like, come on, show yourself, but I never see anything.
No, I've actually got videos of it that I took a few days ago. In actual fact, I've got quite a compendium of videos that I've taken of the starships. And so I stand there, waving to them and saying, hi, come and embrace me. I'm waiting.
Well, that's probably why they're stepping forward now. And it's just kind of like, hey, you're getting, because we've talked about, our Archangel Michael's always with you.
Yes,
but this is the first time that they're kind of going, well, now you're getting, you're getting kind of ET assistance. Because, your new method that you will develop is really going to assist people on a global scale as well, to really kind of deal with all of these side effects that are going to happen. And, you know, what medicine is going to be, they're going to consider it as permanent damage, but everything can be reversed, you know, because with the right spiritual approach, you can, you know, rewrite DNA, you know. So we have more abilities than we think to self-heal, but it is our limited belief, you know, supported by regular medicine, that really kind of keeps us imprisoned in an idea that, oh, well, once that's broken, you know, there's no going back. Does that kind of make sense? So just, keep waving at them, because they're helping you to heal a little bit faster. But unfortunately, because of the faster speed, it will come with a little bit of discomforts here and there, and a little bit of weird dreams that you might not be able to explain, and that's okay. Okay, they're just kind of going, it's all right. It's all right. We got you. All right, sweetheart. I hope that helps.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have a lovely evening, darling. So I'll catch up with you later. I want to go have
Sounds
something to
good.
eat now. Thank you.
All right. It's evening there,
Bye-bye.
probably.
Yes, it is. It's almost, what is the time? 20:38.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, have a good evening, honey.
Thank you, darling. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye. All right. Let's see. I have a male energy stepping forward. I think his name is Mark. He wants to talk about Amy. Does that ring any bells to anyone?
That could be for me.
Okay.
I just need to quickly run and get my lead because my iPad's about to die. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Hey.
Go ahead. Is Juliet back? Juliet's back. Hi, sweetheart.
Hiya.
So we have Mark. Mark for you. I'm just getting other dad out of the way, getting Mark back in. They're giving me this picture of being in a waiting line. And, you know, like you're waiting at a DMV, you know, one step, almost my turn, one step. That's kind of what they're showing me. It's really funny. Mark wants to talk to you about Amy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Amy's has gone through a lot. It's kind of life altering, like whatever she went through, it really impacted how she saw herself, how she feels in this world. And it's like a lot of opportunities of growth and self-empowerment were put into place. And it's like with everything that's been happening in the world, it's like it just added on more heaviness. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's like, how would I explain it, what I'm feeling? It's like she's starting to embrace healing, but she's allowing the outside world to kind of distract her from that inner process. Could you know what I'm trying to say? It's kind of like, you know, she started okay, everything has a reason. She started kind of going into that direction. She started to really try and work on herself, started to heal her tears and all of that. And she was, in the process of that. And then shit happened outside of her all over the world. And it's almost like that inner healing or that evolution stopped, because the focus was then on the outside of herself. Does that kind of make sense? And it's like he really wants her to continue the inner journey. He really wants her to regain faith and trust in relationships, in herself. And kind of bring down the walls of protection that she's built up. Does that kind of make sense of what he's trying to say?
Yeah.
Because it's just, she's not where she's supposed to be yet. And this has been going on for quite some time. And it's almost like she really wants her to hit, he wants her to know that he's there. She just needs to acknowledge his presence so she could receive the assistance. It's like she's blocked everything out. And it almost, even you as well, I could be wrong on that, but it almost feels like even the relationship with you isn't what it used to be.
Yeah, I kind of, as you were speaking, I was thinking that actually sounds like me.
Really?
Amy's my daughter, and Mark is my, he was my husband. We were divorced when he died, but I have known he's been around me. Yeah.
Well, he's addressing this to Amy, so he's like, she's impatient. I still got to get to her. He also wants to say congratulations to Haley. Because they're, did she get married maybe? I don't know if she got married or something.
Yes, a couple of months ago in the summer.
Because he was there. He wants her to know that he was there. But he just wants to say congratulations. And he's also happy that they are taking risks in life. Okay?
Yeah.
He just wants her to know that. He's happy that she's not afraid during the time of chaos to take risks and to use their creative means to start something new. Does that make sense?
Completely, yeah.
Okay. So for you, does the name Keith ring any bells?
Yeah, he was my first husband.
Okay.
Mark was my
one. Number two. He's laughing. He's like, sorry, I was just making a joke. I'm not trying to make fun of you. It's almost like after Keith, your self-love, your self-worth was really damaged. It's almost like he stripped you from your individuality.
Yeah.
And then with Mark, that was an effort to fulfill you again. That was an effort to really find yourself again. Does that kind of make sense? It's almost like you attracted a new relationship because you felt like you needed the validation of another in order to make you feel good about you again.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Hence why that relationship didn't work out. Well, he said it worked out perfectly. Wait till you get home. You'll be like, shit, everything I went wrong went exactly the way I planned it. It went perfectly, but in your mind, it didn't. Okay? In your human mind, you're seeing it as another failed relationship. But he says both relationships stripped you from something, but also made something very clear. And that was that the only love you truly need is your own love, is yourself. And that doesn't mean that you can't go into a new relationship, but you were pushed into a direction where you had to be okay with being in your own company. That would be enough, that you don't need others to witness your journey. So your life would be valued. So it would mean something. Okay. In your entire life, even as a young girl in school, you wanted witnesses in order to make you feel like your life meant something. Because if nobody's there to witness it, then what's the point? Okay. He says he wants you to get away from that. Okay. All of these things. And he's talking about, even sometimes with friends and family, you're constantly being pushed in a direction where you're giving the opportunity to be okay with being you on your own, to feel connected to everything that is through you, through your own presence, without needing other people to make you feel connected. Does that make sense a little bit? So that is what you're still struggling with, is to understand that in solitude, you're not alone. You're just, you're one with all. Does that make sense? And that's the journey that you still need to master before you'll be able to attract and manifest a loving relationship that will validate what you already know and feel, which is you're perfect, you're exactly who you're meant to be, you're valuable, your life is worth something, you came here for a reason, and that reason is to empower yourself. You're here to feel this undying, eternal force of love inside of you for yourself and the journey that you're creating. And then once you accomplish that, and says, you'll be able to share that love with others. You'll no longer need their love, although it'll be fun to share and make memories together. And you will exchange an equal amount of love without having a dependency on each other. And that is a very freeing love. And that's what your soul is seeking to experience. And that will come. It's part of the plan. But you need to get your butt in gear in feeling okay with being you and being in your own company and seeing the value in that. Because it allows you time and space to really do the soul searching, to really do it gives you time and space to connect to your most authentic self. Now is the time to create who you want to be. And once you've completely figured it out and you've aligned with that idea of this is who I am, this is what I'm doing, this is what I mean in this world. Once you have that all figured out and you align with that, you become it. It's no longer an idea, but it is your essence. Then all you can do is manifest wonderful relationships, friendships, romantic relationship. They will reflect, they will mirror back all of that beauty that you already have, are, and will be. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because your soul says, and this is your soul, your higher self kind of connecting through this person, you can't handle another broken heart. It would destroy you. And so therefore, they're not allowing anyone to come in until you are okay with being on your own. Not needing anyone to validate your presence in this world.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Because you know what? Either way, everybody's observed. Every single one of you have a council. Okay, we have a spiritual team that's guiding us directly, and you have a council. And a council, there's 8 members in my council. Okay, there's usually a large amount of entities, and the councils do not interfere. They do not give advice or guide. They simply are there to witness your journey. And they are the ones who are absorbing it and putting it into the archives. So whether you live alone for the rest of your days, let's say a person gets stranded on a deserted island, there's nobody there. That journey is completely witnessed. You're never alone. It's just not possible. You always have people, observing your journey, and you always have a team that's guiding you. So the idea of being alone is simply an incorrect belief system. And so when we incorporate that knowing, I love being on my own, no distractions. I love it. People think I'm a very social person. I'm not as social as people think I am. I'm a very communicative person, but I don't have a lot of friends because I don't need that validation. I don't need that constant exchange. I love being on my own. You know what I'm saying? It's me and my universe. You have to, all of us have to be comfortable with being in the presence of others, but we have to be more comfortable with being in the presence of ourselves and being able to have that fulfill us. Because once we do that, then everything we feel about ourselves, we get to share with other people. And it no longer becomes a part of, hey, I need healing, or I need, please give me something to make me feel better. It no longer becomes a dependency, because those are lower vibrations, okay? Because you're not feeling complete, you're not feeling whole, but you are whole, because guess what? You are every other person on this planet and all the other planets, and you are everything, okay? You are just an expression of energy, a new creation of consciousness, but energetic wise, you are everybody. So it's impossible to be alone, because you are everyone. You are the entire universe. But it is the human idea, the human ego, who creates a separation between you and Amy and Gianluca and everybody, right? We're separate. But that is just a temporary illusion in order to give you this experience. But it is just an illusion, and it is only temporary. That makes sense?
Yes.
And he says, you deserve to have an experience, and you really will. You deserve to have that experience of being with somebody who sees what you see, who sees the value, who sees the perfect imperfection that you are, and who simply wants to enjoy and co-create with you. That's it. Who doesn't need anything from you but your approval to co-create and to love unconditionally and to be there for each other, and that's it. Does that make sense? That's what you're longing for, and that will come once you can feel that with yourself as well.
Okay. Thank you.
He's saying, I know that's not what you want to hear. It's like, come on, people, I'm getting older here. But unfortunately, that's part of the journey for you. That's what you wanted to have as an experience.
Yeah.
All right. And it's, you don't age. So don't think about it in that journey. It's not your time to go until you have, experienced that spiritual connection with another person.
Thank you.
All right. Does that make sense?
Yes. Thank you, Emma.
So you'll be fine. And he loves you. All right. I hope that helps a little bit. I know it's tough. Those are always tough. It's about accepting that, and Eric always tells me this, don't worry, whatever you don't get done here, you'll do it in another one. Either way, you're going to win. Either way, you're coming out of this, with the tools and the experiences that you desire to have. So we need to stop And I know it's, you know, we all love to share our journey with someone, but you are, all right? You are. You're being witnessed. You're being, you know, you're being recorded. Big camera on top of you somewhere from up above. And when you get to rewatch it afterwards, when you come back and you get to rewatch your movie, you know, and you'll get to see what an impact it had on everyone else and everything else, then you'll see just how valuable your life really was.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Kim, I think your dad is here. I don't remember if he was passed on, but I think your dad is here.
Yes, it could be. Yeah.
Real quick for you, Kim, and for Ina, your dad is one, he wants you guys to know he does love you very much. For Ina, it's almost, I don't know if there's some kind of regret, Ina, or there's something, it's like you're still holding on to some kind of blame story. And it's like you've done so much healing and you've done so much work on yourself, but he's talking about you're still, it's almost like in the unconscious, you're still holding on to some kind of blame story, shame story towards him. So I don't know if there's anger or there was anger in the past towards him, or blame, but it's almost like that energy, it completely needs to be dissolved, because it's the only thing that's stopping you from attracting or manifesting love outside of your daughter, of course. I don't know if that makes any sense, but forgiveness needs to it's almost like he did something that really put a lot of pressure on you guys, and don't remember, did he kill himself? I don't remember if we ever talked about that. I don't remember what happened.
It was an accident.
An accident, okay. Because it just feels like,
Yeah, there was a lot of lying and stuff like that.
okay.
And a lot of pressure for us.
Yeah, it just feels like all of a sudden you were like, boom, and then you had problems to fix. And it was like, it all came on you guys. And it created this resentment.
Yeah, it was always my mom who has to help him and to get over the problems.
Right. And then he leaves and boom, you're stuck and you're like, freaking asshole. You know, there's this kind of anger.
Kind of, yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? And both of you have been working really hard to kind of pass that, to transcend it. And you know, it's like Kim's doing really well on that end, but it's and Ina is really getting there too. She's done massive work on acceptance and surrendering and really kind of looking at a more positive direction and, you know, healing the past, but it's still there. And it's the only thing that's stopping you. That's it. Once you can release that and embrace it with love. Thank you. He says, you have to be able to tell me, and I know it's hard because he does regret what, you know, everything that he has done, and he does regret the pain that was left behind. But he really wants you to be able to see the value in that suffering, because you became so self-empowered. You had to fix things. You had to become a problem solver. You had to become emotionally independent in order to kind of survive his presence. I think Kim is translating.
Yeah, I'm
It's in
translating.
German.
Yeah.
Ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch, but not a lot. It's been a while since my German classes. It's been a long time. 1999 was the last year, the year I graduated. So it's a while ago.
Yeah.
But it's about changing perspectives. And he says, I'm not trying to take away your right to feel that way, because you did have that right to be upset. You did have that right to get angry. But the only thing it's doing now, okay, you had it, you felt it, let it go. The only thing it's doing now is blocking you from that last step of evolution. That's it. Because you deserve love and you deserve new relationships and you deserve that. But it's that lingering on energy that blocks the manifestation of new love. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. So he says, you can get angry at me all you want. It's okay. I deserve it. But you deserve peace more, because you've been a warrior throughout this whole thing. So please change your perspective on the problems. See the problems as they were wonderful opportunities to strengthen you as an individual. They were opportunities to show you to yourself just how bloody strong you are. Because what you did, other people would have ran away from. And that makes you the most bravest woman in the world. You had the courage to not give up, to keep pushing through. Even, you had days of crying, you had days of anger, you went through all of the emotions, but you didn't give up. That is where the gratitude needs to be. Thank you, me, for giving those opportunities to show to you just how powerful you really are. And when you can embrace the trouble from the past with that attitude, you will raise yourself up to that next level and you will stay there. You won't be going back and forth anymore. You will be in your victorious warrior energy and you will stay there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you.
And for you, Kim, it just feels like he loves you so much. And he says, you're such a creative, beautiful soul. Again, don't be afraid to go big.
No, okay.
You're still limiting yourself. You still have limiting beliefs about your possibilities and your abilities. Okay. He says you have to go all in. You have to give everything you have towards sharing your beauty with the world.
Okay.
Don't let yourself get in the way of your success. All right?
Yeah.
Breathe. I hope that helps.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome.